Welcome to practice. We're going to begin seated and kneeling position if you are able with your knees, or sit onto a blanket with your legs comfortably out in front. I've folded my blanket and made a little support so I can put that under my sit bones between the ankles and tuck my feet in neatly so they're in line under the hips. And try to get your feet, if you're kneeling, into a parallel position so the toes aren't curling in. You notice you're stretching more evenly the inside and outside edges of your ankle. And we're going to sit tall in this Virasana, hero posture. And feel that grounding of your legs and your sit bones. So if you kneel and it hurts your knees, either you need higher equipment under your sit bones, or you might need to not hurt your knees and put your legs out. And finding the breath. And really noticing how you feel. Maybe kneeling is an awkward activity. So taking notice. Great. And then we're going to warm the hands up a little bit by putting the backs of the hands onto the floor. And the further forward you bring your wrist, then the bigger the stretch. So if they're back behind you, it's not so strong. And modify that to suit your body. Just applying a little bit of pressure, whatever you need to stretch your wrists and forearms in that direction. Good. And then do the same thing, but turn the fingers out. So the backs of the hands are on the floor and the fingers turning out. And following the flow of your breath. And again, paying attention. Is the movement awkward or difficult this morning? Nice. And then we're going to make a circle, so lifting up and making circles with loose hands around your wrist. And then the other direction, even stretching your fingers out like a little hand dance. Good. And then try making a really tight fist. And then the same thing, do the hands around the wrist. You might feel where that moves, different mobilizing of the joints, not the forearms, other direction. Nice work. And we'll soften the fist a little. And this time, just big circles around the elbows. I'm doing opposite direction, but maybe do the same direction. And then the opposite, but same direction, hands going in the same direction. And it's just the elbows. Good. And then do opposite. And then out the other way. Nice. Hold on to your right ankle, or if you're sitting with your legs out in front, tuck your hand under your blanket. And we're going to lean to the left. You're holding your right side, anchoring there, and we're leaning to the left. And just notice where the first part of the stretch is for you. Might be shoulder or arm. We want to keep letting the left ear hang towards the left shoulder. So we start to move the stretch into the right side of the neck. And finding your breath. Oh. slowly, and then coming back up to center. And then we're going to anchor the left hand somewhere under the left ankle or sit bone, and just lean over to your right side. You're anchored on the left, you're leaning right, and you're noticing, does that stretch the arm or shoulder? And then how do we get that stretch to move into the neck? So letting your right ear towards your right shoulder. Ah, and breathing. And we're trying not to tip the head forward or back too much, so it's a fairly even or one plane across the front of the body, including the feet. Lovely work. And releasing. And then some nice big shoulder rolls. Lovely. Interlock your fingers now and press your palms in front of you. And we're going to lift the palms up towards the ceiling. And at some point, the shoulders want to lift up into the space where the neck needs to be free. So stop there and release the shoulders down. Relax your neck. And then you might be able to continue taking the hands back. Depends on how your shoulders feel this morning. So keeping the neck and the throat at ease and reaching through your index fingers. And then releasing that side. And interlock your fingers the other way. And pressing out through the palm. We'll draw the shoulder blades down. Relax your face and your throat. And releasing. And we're going to take the blanket out and come into forward virasana now on your mat. So knees out wide and big toes touching, and take your heels back, your hips back as close to your heels as your knees are comfortable with, and your arms reaching forward. So we've been warming up neck and arms, shoulders. Lengthening your neck here. Lengthening your arms and armpits. Breathing deeply. Stretch your fingers out wide, and we don't have much pressure on the hands, so you can notice where the weight falls in your hands and distribute it evenly across the fingerprints and the balls of the hands and the heels of the palms. Tuned in to the flow of breath. Beautiful. Lifting up now, and we're going to take the forearms to the floor. And we want to place the forearms so they're parallel, and your elbows are sort of shoulder width. Sometimes if you're having a problem with your shoulders, having their elbows a little bit wider is more comfortable, but aim for parallel forearms, accommodating, of course, your shoulders, what your body needs. We're going to even up that distribution of weight across the hands again, and then start to bring the chest towards the floor or the front of the legs. So noticing where your body needs to relax, protect, make space, and finding your flow of breath. Nice work. Lifting your torso now, and we're going to come into downward facing dog pose. We're going to bring that information for the middle back or the upper back with us. So finding even distribution of weight across your hands and try to get the weight forward towards your fingerprints, base of the index fingers, parallel legs and feet, and lifting your knees now. Let's keep the knees pretty bent so that we can work on bringing the chest closer to the front of the legs and just let the head hang down. Mm. Mm. Feel the breath, finding spaces in the body, length, strength. And then start to pedal one leg at a time, the heel down towards the floor. So you're straightening one leg and keeping the other bent from side to side. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Mm. Neck really relaxed, shoulders really relaxed. Weight forward in the hands. Nice work. And then we're going to bring the knees down to the floor and we'll rest the hands and arms and shoulders into child's pose. So squeeze your fists or squeeze your hands into fists and squeeze and release until your fingers feel nice and relaxed. And breathing deeply. Really letting yourself relax. Nice work. Bring your arm back into the forearm on the floor position, parallel forearm. Stretch the fingers out wide and feel that nice distribution of weight across to the inside edge of your hand. Lovely. All right, we're going to bring the knees about hip width, tuck the toes under, and we're going to lift the knees away from the floor. Straighten your legs and look forward. Press the heels down, lift the kneecaps, and see if you can take the hips back a little more. We're pressing into the hands, feeling that flow of breath. Lovely. Bring the knees to the floor. And we'll take the arms back beside you. Breathing deeply. Beautiful. Come into all fours. We're going to tuck the toes under and come back into downward facing dog pose. This time we're going to swing the hips from side to side. And as you swing the hips, you'll notice there's an opportunity to really stretch your side ribs. So you swing the hips right, you can really stretch the left ribs. Swing the left hips left. You can really stretch the right ribs. Good. And feeling where the weight is in your hands, trying to keep that even distribution or even exaggerate the weight forward into the fingerprints. Now, as you swing the hips right, pick up the left foot and take it behind the right leg. So you've crossed your legs. You can put your foot down and just let the hips really hang over in that direction. Good. Back into your downward facing dog pose. Swing the hips left. Pick up your right foot, cross it behind your left foot, and let the hips swing over to the left side. And back to center. I'm going to do that again. Swing the hips right, left foot crosses behind the right, and really let yourself stretch. And one more. Swing the hips left, right leg crosses behind the left, and really reach your hips over to the left side. Beautiful. Back to center. And again, I'm going to rest into child's pose. Letting your hands rest your shoulders and your neck. Mm. Mm. Lovely. Stretch your arms forward into forward virasana. Okay, we're going to keep the hands forward. Lift up and walk your knees back. So underneath the line of the hips. And we're going to bring the chest towards the floor. This will be a stronger stretch in your upper back, taking what you need for your shoulders. And we'll keep the neck relaxed. We'll keep that awareness in the hands, the even distribution of weight. Feeling the flow of breath as the chest lengthens and broadens. The armpits lengthen and broaden. And the bones of the upper back embed forward. Lovely. All right. And lifting your shoulders, walk your knees forward. Tuck your toes under, and we're going to roll back through a squat and come up to standing. Or however you might move into a standing position. Lovely. Excuse me, I've got a froggy. All right, we're going to come to the front of the mat. I'm going to put my hands on the floor here. And if you really have trouble with that reach, it forces your back into an uncomfortable position. Put your hands on the seat of a chair instead. So we'll take the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana, and find somewhere for your hands, the floor or seat of a chair. All right, but we want to bend the knees enough to really bring the bones of the spine forward. The knees are a little bit bent or a lot bent, and we're looking forward. Nice. Now what I want you to do is walk your hands forward or your feet back, and as far as they'll go, but without making a rainbow shape of your spine. So keep the bones of the spine embedded forward. Good. And then we start to try and straighten the legs. Letting the breath make space for ease, for length, stretch here. Lovely. And then bend your knees and rolling up and arms up. Nice work. We're going to take the arms behind and bind them. So that might be holding onto your forearms or hands in prayer position. Great. We're going to step the left foot back. And what we've got is a distance front to back where both heels are on the floor. And from side to side, your feet are about hip width distance apart. Because your arms are bound behind you, it's helping with that movement of the spine reaching forward. So even though we're about to forward bend, we have a back bend shape for the back. Good. Looking up. And as you exhale, strong leg, so lifting your front kneecap particularly, and letting the torso lengthen over the front leg. And stop where you meet resistance, that big resistance that means if you went further, your spine would start to be tight and press up towards the ceiling. So we don't want that. We want the bones of the spine embedding. We want to find the resistance in the leg. And we're keeping the hips level to the floor. And feel that deep flow of breath. How stable your legs can be here. Beautiful. Bend your front leg now and notice you can reach further because now the tightness of our hamstrings is not impeding the reach of the spine. So reach as far forward as you can. Beautiful. And then try to straighten your front leg. And let the breath really find that resistance where you can find more space, more ease. Parsvottanasana. Beautiful. And then we're going to release the hands and we're going to step forward, lift the left leg up in front and balance on your right leg. So you might have to put your tiptoes on the floor just to find another little point of balance. Or lift the leg high and try to hold onto your knee and squeeze the knee in. Find your mountain pose here, meaning strength, steadfastness. Beautiful. See if you can hold your knee that close into your chest and bring your hands in front of your heart. And then we'll place that leg down. But we're going to find where we're going to put the foot. Notice what it feels like to move with intention rather than just falling into place, being at the whim of gravity. Second side, we're going to bring the arms behind again and bind them. Might be prayer position, might be holding wrists or forearms or even elbows or upper arm. Right leg steps back. And front to back, both feet on the floor and the back heel pressing. And side to side, feet hip width parallel. And really strong legs here. So lift the kneecaps. We're going to look up, feel the back bend shape in your spine. And try to keep the back bend shape. Keep the hips level to the floor and reach the torso forward. Find where the whole thing seems to cease. Okay, now if we keep the front leg straight and we try to bend further, the spine's going to pop up towards the ceiling. So we don't want that. Lift the torso until you feel your spine embedded. Feel the legs to be strong. And that's beautiful, keeping the hips level. All right, if you bend your front leg now, you'll be able to reach the torso further forward without the spine making a rainbow. So reach as far forward as you can. And then we try to straighten the front leg. Parsvottanasana. Nice. Letting the breath find space. Easing the spine forward. Let the legs stretch. Okay, we're going to lift up and release your hands. Step forward and balance on your left leg. Put your right foot where it makes sense. So that might be tiptoes on the floor, lifting it up. And if you can, take hold of your knee and really squeeze the knee in towards the front of the chest. And if you could hold it there, that would be amazing. We're trying to find our steadfastness. Bring the hands in front of the heart. So we're lifting the core of the body powerfully to support the spine, and shoulders are relaxed. And before you place that foot down, find your intention. Beautiful. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. We're going to place the hands down on the floor and walk the feet back into downward facing dog pose. And then knees to the floor. Take child's pose for a moment, feeling the flow of breath. Finding space in the body. Great. We're going to lay down on our right side. And put your head into your hand. So scoot your right elbow so it's in a line with your shoulder, your hip, and your legs. And what I'm going to get you to do is bend the knees. So the front of the body is all in one straight line, but the lower legs are bent back behind you. Okay, we're going to lift the left leg out to straight, and then we're going to make a big circle with the left leg and use your gluteus muscle, your left gluteus muscle, to really reach the leg back. You can feel that part of the musculature really switched on, the buttock. So reach the leg back as far as it goes when you make your circle. Okay, nice work. You can put those knees back together. Try to keep the knees back. They want to come forward. All right, we're going to put the forearm down on the floor now. Wiggle your elbow so it's right underneath your shoulder, and try to bring the shoulder in towards the core of the body, so not falling out. Bring it in towards the core. That's it. And then we're going to lift the hips off the floor. Might just be a little way or even just almost there. And then do the same thing with your left leg. Out straight, and then make that circle and really try to activate the gluteus muscle. So when you reach the leg back, it's really, really reaching back. You can use your left hand for balance, or you can rest it on your left side. Okay, nice work. Rolling over on your tummy and over to your second side. So just rest your head into your left hand. And see if you can get the front of your body all in one line. And then we'll take the right leg straight. You can have your right hand on the floor for balance here. And let's make that big circle. Reaching your leg back. Trying to use your right leg. Okay. Outside. You're going to stick your elbow in until it's under your elbow. You could actually center towards the other shoulder out. But don't you bring the shoulder in out towards the center. Scoot your knees back a little. All right, so we're feeling nice and strong on our shoulder and forearm. And we're going to take the hips up off the floor, or have the intention to do that if they don't quite lift. You just lift them. You can have your right hand resting on your right side, or you can keep it on the floor for balance. And then we'll take the right leg out to straight, really trying to use your gluteus muscles, your buttock muscles, to make that circle. Mm. Nice work. And then we're going to lay down onto our backs. Feet hip width and parallel. We're going to lift just the tailbone. You might feel the lower back presses down and the belly hollows. And then just lifting the pelvis, or tailbone and pelvis, and then adding in the sacrum, and then bone by bone of your spine. And we'll just keep going, lifting bone by bone. And when you get to the top, we're going to take the arms overhead, and we're going to let the arms stay resting on the floor, but we're going to lower bone by bone. Good, so the legs have stayed nice and parallel. And then back is just resting. Arms stay overhead. So let's do a couple more of those with the arms overhead. Just lifting the tailbone, then the pelvis and the sacrum, then the lower back. And try to get each bone to come off the floor separately. Sometimes it feels like there's a whole bunch all joined together. Ooh. Right up to the top as far as you can go. And then one by one, lowering down. Excuse me. Sneezing. One more of those. Not a sneeze, a spine lift. Beautiful. Bring your arms in now so that you can lay them out to the sides from the shoulders. We're going to take the right thigh and cross it over the left. And put your hips on the right side of your mat a little, and then knees to the left. And you're going to let your legs go to where it feels good. Keep your right shoulder blade on the floor and looking over your right shoulder. Good, and then lifting up. And putting your left thigh over your right thigh. Place your hips a little to the left and knees to the right. Left shoulder blade stays on the floor. You can face in that direction. Just giving the weight of your body to the posture of the floor. Nice work. Lifting back up to center. Bring your arms in. So we're going to bring the right heel onto the left knee. Or if you have further movement in that direction, put your heel in front of your left hip. And we're going to pick up the left foot off the floor and take a hold of the left knee or the thigh so that you can bring the left knee towards the chest, but we'll take the right knee away from the chest. And lift your lower back a little bit from the floor. And if it feels good, straighten your left leg. So try to keep that little lift of the lower back. Lovely. And then releasing that side. And second side. So left heel, right knee. If you have further movement, put your heel in front of your right hip. And we'll lift the right foot off the floor. And taking hold somehow so that you can be bringing the right knee towards the right chest and the left knee away from the left chest. Oh, excuse me. Spring has sprung. And then you might be able to straighten your right leg. The little lift of the lower back away from the floor, engaging the spine. Beautiful. Release and hug your knees into your chest and rocking a little bit from side to side. Feeling the flow of breath in your body, life force. And then rolling to your right side and coming up to the knee. Bringing your hands together in front of your heart. And take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.